Welcome to week 9 of Photo Freedom. We're going to do a little question and answer, and I'm going to do a show and tell today.
I've got a question.
Yes, Ron. Can I help you?
Well, let's say that I'm doing this at my own self-pace. I've gotten up to about week 3 or 4, but I'm just skipping ahead and watching this video in week 9. Can I do all this stuff now?
No. Please don't do that now. So the whole premise behind Photo Freedom is to do it step by step by step. So this is week 9, so it's okay to go ahead and watch the video, but please don't attempt step 9 until you've done all the other steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 9. So it's like, do not try this at home. Please don't do the steps out of order. It really is designed in a specific way to help give you photo freedom so that you have a system that goes from beginning to end, from the time you take your photos till the time you're enjoying them in an album. So keep following the weeks. You can, like I said, you can go ahead and watch to see what you're going to be doing, but really follow it step by step. Even if it's week 20 and you're still on week 3, that's not a problem. Now you shouldn't be too far behind because remember, you're only working on your current photos. You're not working on all your previous photos, but just your current photos. So week 8, we printed photos, and you've
Question?
Oh, yeah.
So I see you got some really nice photos in an attractive Photo Express wallet.
Yes.
So I think I know what to do. You just you throw those in a drawer, right?
Yes, no. That's the old way. Before you took Photo Freedom, you'd come and you'd see your wonderful pictures, you'd look at them, you'd put them in an envelope, and you'd throw them in a drawer. Not allowed anymore because you're a Photo Freedom alumni now once you get to this end of this course, and you're a freedom fighter. So you need to take your photos, you need to look at them, you need to enjoy them, you need to share them, but then you need to do something with them. You're not allowed to throw them in a drawer anymore. That's bad because then it's basically the same as just having them on your computer. So we have a little chart that's in your little book here, and we've got from the very simplest thing to a little bit more time-consuming, which is scrapbooking. So you'll see that chart in your handout, and we're going to show you some examples of those today. So depending on how much time you have or how busy your week is going or just what's going on in your life at that time, you can choose one or mix it up, choose one time and another one another time. You can do a combination. So the simplest way, of course, to do your photos is just to stick them in a pocket page photo album. So you just pop them in the pocket pages and you enjoy them. This one happens to be a 12 by 12 pocket page album because I also like to add scrapbook pages in with my pocket pages. But you can see this way you can actually enjoy them and they're not stuck in a drawer, they're not stuck on your computer. My kids loved looking through this album when I created it the other day.
Question.
Yes.
So I remember photo albums from the olden days, the film days.
Yes.
Everyone used them back then.
Yep.
But they're not cool anymore, are they? You can't just put your pictures in a photo album.
You can just put your pictures in a photo album. They're very cool. We have lots of really trendy albums, lots of traditional albums. We have a huge, huge selection of photo albums from small ones that hold 24 pictures all the way up to big ones that hold 500 photos. And a lot of them have rings so you can add more pocket pages to them also. So definitely you can do that.
I gotta say, these pictures look awesome just sitting in an album and you're able to share them with everybody.
That's right.
What else can you do?
Now the next one is called a themed photo album. So it's like a photo album, but it has a specific theme to it. So while you don't reminisce chronologically, you also don't have to put your pictures into an album chronologically. So you can have an album about a pet, or about a trip that you did, or about a hobby that you do. I happened to start this one. We just got these cool albums in. This is a family album. I have to add pictures of my family in the front here, which is going to be very easy to do with Photo Freedom because I'll just click on the little tabs and all my photos that I like will pop up. So this one I'm doing just a generic family album. So I'm just taking random photos as I find them and as I print them, and I'm going to put them in my pocket pages. You can see here I've left one blank. I can either put some journaling in here, or I can, whenever I get another vertical photo, I can put it in there. Again, it doesn't have to be chronological. It doesn't matter if one photo was taken in December and one photo was taken in May, or one photo was taken at 12:30 and one was taken at 12:40. It's just random pictures of my family. So this is going to be a great book to leave out on the coffee table that we can always enjoy and look at.
And I'm going to give you permission to leave 1 or 2 of those pockets blank and call the book done.
Exactly. It's done. Now the next thing we talked about was photo album scrapbooking, and that's probably what my favorite one is right now. I am a scrapbooker, but I don't have a lot of time, so I'm not really getting a whole lot of scrapbooking done. So our photos were sitting on my computer in photo boxes and they weren't getting enjoyed as much. So I've really taken to the photo album scrapbooking, which is you take a regular 4x6 pocket pages, and I've got most of my photos there, and then I've got a 4x6 decorative element there. This company here particularly is called Simple Stories. They have all kinds of pages that are designed with 4x6 ones already there. You just cut up the page and pop them in. So you can see I've got them every once in a while here in each page, so I can put some journaling in. I haven't put the journaling in because it is important, I think, to tell the story with the photo so that future generations will know what was happening. So you can see I've got them all along here. So I've kept a little one blank that I will add in some journaling. So these are my summer photos. So you can see they're great. I get to enjoy them, we get to look at them, and we don't have to wait for another 10 or 12 years when I find some time to scrapbook them.
Looks very impressive. Question for you. I noticed some of the pictures are vertical, like this one here.
Yep.
It's in there sideways. That's not perfect. Aren't you really concerned about that?
Doesn't matter, because we're in there, we get to enjoy them, and you know what? When you're looking at the album, you look at it, you can visit, your brain is smart enough to turn it around. If you want to, you can also go like this and take a look at it. But it's done. Now you can also get pocket pages that come vertically if you tend to take all your pictures vertically. They also have pocket pages that have a lot of different sizes in them. But again, you want to keep it simple and you want to get it done. And it's just so much fun to look at. We had so much fun looking at all the things we did this summer. Then the next one is a basic scrapbook. And that's like the previous generations used to do. We had our grandparents, or maybe your albums, where you had just the plain page and paper albums, and they had photos just in them. So you can do that with a regular scrapbook, and they have page protectors on them now to protect them from your fingerprints and everything else. So you just pop the paper out. You can use the photo corners, which you don't have to lick anymore. They actually come pre-stuck. Or you can use photo tabs. You would just place your photos onto the page, do a little bit of writing, and it's a scrapbook. Anytime you put photos with words, it's a scrapbook. It doesn't have to be fancy. You could make this black paper, you could make it pattern paper, anything like that. Just keep it simple and get it done. That would be called a scrapbook. Now I wanted to show you this one my daughter did of my grandmother, so her great-grandmother. She did this in grade 7. She had to do a project on an ancestor, so she chose to do a scrapbook. So again, it's pretty basic. It's just a plain piece of patterned paper behind, just some writing done on a piece of paper, and then she just matted some photos on there. So it didn't take very long. She did this whole thing in an evening, but it tells the story. And a good point of this is that my grandma was 91 when she passed away, and it tells her whole story in a few pages. So it talks as like a journal, because my grandma loved to write. So it tells about her hometown, how she grew up, and all her siblings that she had. It talks about her parents and what kind of people they were, and the life she had. It talks about how some of her siblings passed away. It talks about her marriage and her children, and how happy she was to have children, because the doctor said she never would, and she had 6. So that's pretty amazing. And one of them was my dad, Marcel, as you all know. It talks about how her marriage to Gus didn't quite work out, and then it also talks about her grandkids and all the things that she loved, helping the homeless, helping the poor, everything like that. And then she also included the eulogy that my brother had done at the funeral. So this is an awesome, awesome keepsake of my grandma. It was done in an evening. It looks beautiful, but it didn't take much. It's very simple, and that's also called a scrapbook. It doesn't have to be all-encompassing of your time. Then there's the Sometimes scrapbook. Some of these here. And I love this also. So this is where you could do a 2-page layout of, say, an event. So this is my youngest daughter when she was in grade 1. So this is a 2-page layout that tells the basic story, and then you just add the rest of the photos into pocket pages behind, because you always have extra photos. So that way you're not doing 10 layouts of one event, you're just doing one layout and then some pocket pages. And then we did that again with my other daughter. I did some pocket pages and a layout. So again, very, very simple. And then if you ever find time, the Time Fairy grants you a whole bunch of extra time, you can go back and make it fancy, but most of the time this is all you need. It's very good.
Where do I find an album like that?
You can find these at Photo Express, of course. And we have all the different pocket pages. We have the 12x12 pages, the 4x6 pocket pages, lots of different 3-ring binders that they will go in, fancy ones, plain ones, all different kinds of colors, huge selection. And then you also find pocket pages that have a lot of different sizes too. And a lot of companies are now coming out with scrapbook papers that are meant to go into the pocket pages, which makes it really easy. And then you have your full-time scrapbooking. This is a scrapbook layout that I did of my dog, Duchess. Now, isn't that the most beautiful face you ever saw? So this is a full scrapbook page. It's not a fancy one again, but it's pretty simple. And then I did a layout of Jake. So we have Beauty and the Beast. Which one's Beauty, which one's the Beast? And then at the time I had done this, we had just gotten a new puppy called Mateo, so I did a layout for him. But because I didn't have Foto Freedom back then, I couldn't find the photos that I wanted to put on here. Now that I have Foto Freedom, it's going to be very, very easy for me to go click on the the Mateo tab. All the pictures of Mateo will pop up. I'll choose my favorite ones, print them out, stick them on the layout, and it'll be done. So that's scrapbooking. So it goes from basic, just sticking them in a photo album, to if you have lots of extra time on your hands, scrapbooking, or anything in between. Next week we're going to go over some different things you can do with photos, like photo books, digital scrapbooking, photo collages, photo gift ideas, just to give you some more ideas of what you can do with your photos. But at the basic, keep it simple, do step 1 to step 10, and put them into a photo album and enjoy them. You'll find Foto Freedom.